Welcome to part 3 of the Photoluminescence main story event. We found out the secret of the two sisters. Know about the response of Osiris to this matter. Now is missing the one from Angelus, who is felt under Osiris' neural cloud. Part 7. Critical moment. To advance or retreat is dangerous. Thus, we should wait for a chance. Reverse Babylon Tower. Plaza of Odds. That is why Osiris betrayed the Sanctifiers? I only revealed the truth. The right to choose was forever in her hands. She chose to accept her real self and become an Entoptic. Sophistry and deception. A flame cloak slash travels through the air with a roar. Osiris only retreat backwards, his face cold. This is not something you should be concerned with, Osiris. True, danger are rarely visible upon the surface. I think he means Hesperus. When the reverse Babylon Tower falls fully under my control, such concern of identity will no longer be important. When the sacred canon is fully entropized, redemption shall come for all of you. I will not allow that. Such things are not decided by you and I. Or rather, did you really think that I would let Professor into the tower without prior preparations? Noise injected itself into Hesperus' auditory modules. He instinctively moves to remove it, but finds himself unwilling, dragged into Sanctifiers' communication channel. Sanctifiers' voice. Does Osiris speak true? I struggle to believe it. Lady Angelus is an Entoptic? Should we still follow and fight for Lady Angelus? The Sanctifiers' leader pauses, realizing the gravity of the situation. Osiris! You're quite late to notice. Allowing him to come into contact with sacred canon and to explain the truth to Osiris' situation, I did for the sake for one objective. He ascends to an easily visible location in the center of the battlefield. His unharmed voice spreads to every corner of the field. Hear me, compatriots. Abandon your arms. What have you just heard is the complete truth. Undeniable, it is veracity. The secret canon entropization is irreversible. His plans was doomed to fail from the very beginning. Even if you continue the battle here, you only delay the inevitable. I trust that such meaningless sacrifice is not something anyone desires to see. Some attacks swiftly, denials come from the Sanctifiers' ranks, but are easily blocked by Osiris' shield. Feel set in your ways. Of course, we will not give up the fight because of your words. A blade glint strikes forth from a dead zone in Osiris' vision, yet it too fails to penetrate his shield. Judgment? I had thought you would be the first to stand by my side. A laughable notion. Sanctify Osiris. In Judgment's name, I pronounce you guilty. Or treason. against the Sanctifiers. Take this! The great Sanctifier swings their blade with all the opponents they can bring to bear, attempting to shatter Oisfer's shield with one strike. I see. I may not be superior, but I hope you will remember this well. The weapon in Judgment's hand shatters the moment it comes into contact with Oisfer's shield. The former Sanctifier leader raises his head, undeniable authority in his golden eyes. The weak have no right to convict the strong. Damn it! What happened with punishment? What a pity. But this topic is not one you are qualified to speak of. Return to where you belong. A meteor appears from Oisfer's fingertips, easily striking the greater Sanctifiers down to the ground. Ugh. Oh, you can still fight. I shall use you to plunge them into despair then. The Reaper uphigh gestures with his hand, calling forth a meteor embodying despair. No! Judgment stands up and puts up a defense, but his struggles are ever so minuscule with their absolute difference in power. In the very next moment, a great wall of flames burns away the meteor. You would choose to try and stop me, even knowing you will fail? Of course. Is that so? Then I shall deliver all of you under despair. The look in his eyes grows colder. Being able to manipulate the secret canon of great Sanctifiers means I can easily rewrite your canon as well. Adamant, as you are in your ways, I shall leave interpretation to strip away your remaining Sanctifier's dignity. With a snap of a finger, Entoptic roaring spreads across the battlefield once more. Although this time, it would emanate from behind Hesperus. Reverse Babylon Tower, Pantheon. Did this place change a bit? Using the shield left by Angelus, the Professor and Antonida struggle to fend off Osiris. How is Angelus? No traces of her steering. She's probably totally lost in Osiris' narrow space. The best we can do is prioritize the secret canon and try to make our exit after making sure it isn't enterprised. I know there's about 1/5 left to deal with in the infected canon. Not getting serious at a time like this is dangerous, you know? The shadows appeared between the two in their hiding spot, smiling from ears to ear. And you good at scuttling around like a little bug, Professor? You used to be able to hang with Big Sis Angelus. You must not be feeling so good today. Could it be that you, Guard, is down with little Anna at your side? You too, little Anna? I'll focus on the canon with not a care in the world. It really is boring when I'm the only one who's taking it seriously. Let me help you wake a little. Osiris swings her weapon, forming a barrier in its path, and bisecting the space. She looks at Antonida before her and the Professor. Alright, now it's a one-on-one. Stop fleeting over that program of yours and perk up. Aren't you asking too much from a clerical worker? Alright, I will give you 3 seconds head start. 3, 2, 1. She opened her eyes again to find that green-haired Lori has not moved an inch. Time is up, you know. I did give you a chance. She raises her hand, summoning her shield and fork. It would be all too simple to take care of an agent, and she thrusts her weapon directly at the figure in front of her. It goes straight through the door, landing upon the opposite wall. It is just an illusion. The 10-haired Sanctifiers is disoriented for a second, but soon puts an engrossed smile. You certainly repurposed my projection generator quickly. Impressive, I must say. As expected of Little Anna, our creator. You sure had something else? No, let me have a guess. Just where are you hiding? I have a lot of clones. The Pentagon has also backdoors I have left in. You won't be able to find me. Don't be so confident, little Anna. I may not have the technology as refined as yours, but violence. Ashari's shield lifts her hand, carving a perfect arc through the air and pulverizing every piece of cover in its way. It's often an effective method for solving puzzles. There you are. As the Pantheon shakes, Antonida projection disappears. Osiris stops picking up and destroyed projection from the remaining of a shattered pillar. I wanted to smash up the Pantheon like this for quite some time now. Bless little Anna for giving me this chance. The search radius is gradually reduced. If little Anna was to destroy the projector and hide in a little cubby in 3 seconds... Are you behind the bookshelves? Or that wall? Knock knock. Anyone home? Antonina hides within a passage, turning her operential frequency down to a minimum. She rests her fingers on the keyboard, ready to deliver a deadly blow on Osiris, who might try to destroy the passage at any moment. The footsteps gradually approach with a rhythmical pita-pita as the hunter casually approaches her prey. Antonida silently estimates the distance between the two. 3, 2, 1. Bloop. What arrives is not Osiris' attack, but the radiant light from the sacred cannon. On the other side of the barrier, the professor makes the last input on the terminal. All infected cannon entries processed. Entropization program disarmed. I see how it is. You really had something up your sleeves, Professor. Never imagined you would have tech like little Anna's. Tech. Alright, you win this game. Next is intermission. You won't have to worry about any attacks from me. Osiris closes her eyes and puts her hands up, displaying no intent to attack. Antonida carefully exits the hidden passage, patching into the cannon. Looks all good. Cannon entropization rate at 0%. The professor lets out a sigh of relief, but a strange uneasiness arrives from within. The sound of Osiris' laughter can be heard behind them. Naturally, I have prepared a prize for the game's winner. blood-curdling screeches, and wails come from the palace of Earth. The professor and Antonita's faces grow dark, and they look outside to find the color purple, raw life rating in the ranks behind Hesperus. Holding fast to their ideals until a moment ago, the Sanctifier's expression turns to ones of immeasurable pain. Malignant purple vines sprout forth from their cores, extending across their bodies, shaping away their energy and will to fight. But why? The interposition program is already armed. Something comes to Antonita's mind, and she makes a rapid series of input on her keyboard. The data on the screen soon verifies her assumptions. Some of the data in the secret cannon has been hidden away on purpose. Oisphorus has already transferred the important parts of the cannon's data. The secret cannon here was nothing but bait. You have finally realized it. What do you think of this fine gift? Osiris stretches, sitting down upon a most spectacular weaving point. Let it begin then, the sonata of mutation and entropization. As always typical, there is no chance for a break. Part 8. Balefire Alteration. The unstable balance has just suffered an irreversible shift. Reverse Babylon Tower, Pantheon. Damn it. If this continues, it will only take a few minutes for all of the Sanctifiers on the field to come under their control. Antonita, how much of the secret cannon is under Oisphorus' control? More or less the same as the amount of the present here, about half of total. Can we trace the location of Oisphorus' half of the secret cannon from the data we have? I'm trying, but I think we are too late. The interpretation has already taken place. Even if we can't find it, there's nothing we can do. Antonita slapped her keyboard. The unwillingness and powerlessness in her heart getting to her. Damn it, we were playing into Oisphorus' hands all along. Antonita, you said you worked out on cloud network security, right? Yeah, but that isn't related to the business at hand. We can talk about it later. No, it is very much related. The professor continues. The network safety project you worked on, the Sanctifier project, is our only hope. Sanctifier project? Yes. Quick, Antonita. Have a look at the cannon composition. Understood. Antonita quickly returns to inspecting the reverse Babel Tower's data. Chords cross rapidly on her terminal. The feeling of familiarity hits her once more, and she becomes certain that everything here is her work. An idea most familiar to her appears on the screen, and she can no longer hold in her surprise. All of the Sanctifiers got are iterations of mine? Exactly, as I guessed. To ensure the network absolute safety, of course you will hide some important keys of yourself. Why do you know all of this? An answer arises in Doll's mind the moment she asks the question. Antonita instinctively takes a glance at Osiris as the latter plays about with an arrow, not realizing Antonita's display just then. Huh? What is it, little Anna? Nothing. Is that so? Go do what you will and struggle before your defeat then. When Big Sis wakes up, she will realize her mistakes and return to my side. Then I will have her and you herself. so that you will both feel disturbed, body and soul. A most delicious delight, no? Your personal reality is off-putting. I could say the same. The emerald-haired doll signs once more, focusing on the cot in front of her. Since you have found the key already, can you try connect to the reverse bubble tower and grab the ownership of the rest of the cannon from Oisphorus? There's a chance. Let me try. Further interposition progress on the reverse bubble tower. It's stabilizing for now. The program under Oisphorus control is focused on entropizing and Sanctifiers cannon, so the corrosion on the other side has slowed down for now. At a cost, I can write a program to lock down the interposition on the reverse bubble tower. Problem, however, is that we don't have the time on our hands. Time is indeed what we need most right now. The professor looks back at the unconscious Angelus. She wears a pained expression in her sleep. Malevolent, purple energy flickering in and out of existence around her. Can we wake up Angelus somehow? If we were to link up to her neural cloud, we could possibly be affected by Osiris as well. Do you think that Osiris' fate will come true, Professor? I trust Angelus, but I know Osiris' method. Perhaps we can try to give her a push. Antonida, I will leave you with stopping the interposition of the remainder of the secret cannon and connecting to the tower. I will try to work on Angelus' cannon entry. Understood. I will do my best. The professor looks towards the battlefield, doing as Osiris did. Please, Hesperus, hold on. The reverse Babel Tower sky grows gloomy under the entropy's influence. The screeching and roaring continues on the battlefield. Only one man continues to fight in his break landscape. A sudden slash comes from Hesperus' back. He moves to release flames with a hand, but defends with the shield around him after a brief moment of hesitation. The great axe clashes against his shield, spawning sparks that ignite the attacker's face. Wake up, Reverence! Hesperus is answered by yet another strike. With no other option available, he retreats backwards, attempting to bind his attackers with the chains of operants. Two attacks intercept the chains just as they are about to connect, dashing them apart. Wait, love. The two are in a state similar to references. Oisphorus accelerates the cannon's interposition with another snap of his fingers, and the two raise their weapons with pained expressions against their former comrades. What? Not going to fight? The mastermind waits suspense in the air, mocking Hesperus as he waves back and forth, evading the Sanctifiers' attack. There are no traces of interposition on them. Their minds are obfuscated by the interposition of the secret cannon. As such, I have no reason to fight them. Still, disguising your lack of awareness, such a laughable excuse. He shakes his head, snapping his fingers yet again. Shall I help you along on the road of enlightenment? Shut up! Releasing operants in the form of furious flames, he forced the three around him back. He leaps into the air, drawing his blade and preparing to strike at Osphorus. Hesperus fails to find his mark, an attack coming from his flank forcing him to withdraw his blade and defend. Raven. The attacker cleaves apart the smoke, launching yet another attack. Hesperus raises a hand to defend, but another figure dashes into the fray, blocking the strike for him. Judgment. Lord Hesperus, allow me handle this, while still myself. Quickly, handle Osphorus. His visage torments. Judgment holds up his blade with his remaining will. He urges again, seeing Hesperus still idle in his words. Please act, quickly. Hesperus hears the unwillingness in his words. Saying no more, he adjusts his stance, gathering opponents around himself. The flames lash towards the heaven, igniting the night. Hesperus primes his blade, readying a mighty blow. Osphorus! The dragon's claw rends the air, taking to the air amidst the flames. A slash. A blade pierced flesh, and the flames swallowing the air space suddenly stops. Ugh! Just before he strikes, a yet black blade runs him through from behind. He fights back the pain and looks down, identifying the blade's owner, Judgment. No, Osphorus. The moment they lock eyes, he realizes the truth. The pair of eyes he knew so well were no more. A strange, bluish being now inhabiting Judgment's golden eyes. A cold voice accompanied by a certain figure appears in front of him. Do you see now, Hesperus? I may not be able to enterprise them, but I can easily manipulate and disguise their state of mind with the help of the enterprised cannon. It was only thanks to this that I was able to deceive you in such a manner. I seem to recall your wounds were not fully healed. A blade embedded in Hesperus applies great force with a wave of the hands from Osphorus, tearing apart the Sanctifiers leader's innards. Hesperus is forced to cut through the blade with his own, retreating and creating distance. He pulls out the shard embedded in him. Opponents coalesced into flames at his fingertips as he slowly curses his abdominal wounds. When he raises his head again, he finds all of his former comrades standing behind Osphorus. You ask me what Sanctifier's glory was, no? Allow me to answer. You know. It is nothing more than a beautiful life woven by our Creator. They possessed faith and sacrifice as consecrated things, deceiving Sanctifiers into giving their lives for meaningless design. And now, a snap of the finger is all it takes to shatter this lie and obliterate their long-held faith. You hold such faith in Angelus, but she will be the same. When she wakes, her innate instincts will drive her to abandon her compulsions and abandon the Sanctifiers, like Ashari's had. A hint of melancholy creeps into Osphorus' voice. I fought once for this false happiness too. But you must learn to see reality, Hesperus. Your resistance is meaningless. Amidst your failure, life is not worth giving for a mere few lines of code. Their resistance is not meaningless. If I were to fall here, all of those prior sacrifices would mean nothing. A hand on his stomach, he stands up with his blade in the ground of support, looking at the commemorative steel behind him. Those familiar names have remained untouched by the smoke and dust of the battlefield, as hallowed as ever. Continuing fighting for the Magra Sea they protected together is nothing less than my duty. Still saying such feeble-minded things? Starlight slips between his fingers, cleaving their steel behind Hesperus in two. The embodiment of Sanctifiers' glory crumbles, falling behind Hesperus' lone silhouette. That steel behind you is no more than human malice, disguised as kindness. Our sacrifices and efforts are nothing to them. Even in the end, they are left to become procedurally inscribed names, to be abandoned and forgotten by men with time. No, you're wrong. I will not forget their names and what they represent. Flames rise behind him. This will shall never be extinguished. It shall forever be inherited by the Sanctifiers who protect Magrasis tomorrow. It appears that your resistance will only cease when hope is truly gone. Asharist. The number you dialed is currently busy. Please try again later. Knock it off. It's time you got to work after all the play. Aw, found out already? What a shame. I haven't rested enough for my taste. Should I deal with them then? Yes, they are no further value. Yeah, I got it. It really is a shame that Big Sis won't be able to taste this despair. Osiris makes a show out of her faint sadness, but the weapons in her hand were radiant long before. Give me a moment. You can take more moments, please. Hesperus suddenly leaps forth, rushing towards the reverse Babel tower. The Sanctifiers around Hesperus act quickly. A great sword and axe block his way, impeding his forward steps. Out of my way! He uses more efficient flames in place of his blades, stopping his attacker's movement. Escaping the blockade, Hesperus speeds up, enduring the pain, still putting a hand on his wound. He struggles to keep it from bursting as he flies with high velocity. Abandon mission, Antonida! Get the professor and yourself away from here! But You shall not pass. You shall not pass. Starlight descends from above, forming a great wall and blocking Hesperos' way. Hesperos draws his blade to cut it apart, but the Sanctifiers surrounded him again. No threat of their fiery shackles. Damn it. I will do everything to breach the defenses, you. As Hesperos makes ready to breach the barrier, with his life on the line, a great operance's explosions emerged from the tower. Hesperos stopped in his tracks. Professor. It appears the victory is mine. Professor, save the day, please. At the explosion phase, Ashara scoffed as she tries to dispel the smoke with one hand. Still giving me trouble even while asleep, Big Sis. Never thought you would have more leftover errors. That was certainly not expected. So, that was your last one, right? She approaches the door behind the shield with a nefarious smile. The sudden strike from behind Antonida indeed surprised her, but that was the extent of its capabilities. You have no more ways to stop me, right, little Anna? I had thought that attack could have stopped you for at least a moment. The doll's hands continue to move on her keyboard even as she speaks. If you are looking for my cannon entry, you better giving it off. I took it away from the cannon the moment I realized my true self, so I would never be controlled by anyone ever again. Alright, let's cut the chatter. Rest time over, and Oisfrus going to be upset if this takes any longer. Pixie's Angelus shield is sure troublesome, but operants flow into her weapon, emanating a fearsome aura. As strong as it is, it cannot withstand an attack like this, right? Goodbye, you two! The embodiment of death leaves her hand, and the smoke from an explosion consumes the corner the two are shielded in. Boring! Asharis extends a hand to retrieve her weapon, only to find herself denied. She suddenly realizes something and instantly takes a half step back out of fear of the unknown. The smoke fades to reveal a familiar figure with fork in hand, blocking her attack. I take back what I said, Big Sis. You certainly are being worthy of being destroyed by me. It's time for the round 2. Stage 13. Sincere heart. I'm not true to myself because I'm a Sanctifier. But I am Sanctifier because I'm true to myself? What a sentence. Another Angelus. Let me guess, this is the same stage with Oisforos, but this time we enter the bottom line? I didn't think you would wake up, Big Sis. But why? You should be the only one who can understand me. The neural cloud is stained by suspicion and anger. Ashari's face distorts as her emotions heighten. After experiencing the same despair, you should have fallen like me. Enough, Asharis. The game ends here. I simply made a different choice. With the help of some people. A different choice? What a joke! There are no decisions to be made in those experiences. Like you, I once doubted the existence of the Sanctifiers. Angelus reaches out, taking a shattered piece of the tower's wall into her hand, a result of the battle moment ago. Stained by smoke and smoke, the Sanctifier symbol upon it is still clear as day. Supposed ideals like justice and duty are just falsehood written into program. The fear you feel upon the battlefield can crush each and every fanciful ideal, dragging us back to reality as we dream. Much like you, I struggle to move forward after witnessing the terror of the battlefield for the first time. Watching companions by my side fall one by one, fearing that the shadow of death shall visit you next. Ideals, protecting others, all fancy words for the purpose of decorating death. They have no purpose other than that. Opera's tickling around Osiris as she sits. It's not a good habit to lie, you know? If that truly is what you think, Pixis Angelos, you should be standing by my side. I'm not lying to you. Even after coming to know the truth, I still want to live. One as a Sanctifier. Even if that's just nothing but a falsehood, I choose to protect it. What was pain to you is the proof of the path I walked as Sanctifier. Time to make another choice? I have fallen into endless abyss, where my sense of time, space, and even my own neural cloud have become hazy and vague. My name is Angelus. Evidence. Fierce as I am, can I really keep the fate of the Sanctifiers? Or are we going the bottom line path? I seem to have delved quite far in. Darkness surrounds me, and there's nothing in the world but an I and the girl in front of me. Her tone and her voice, both undeniably familiar. The black mark gradually swallows her as she tries to escape, struggling powerlessly. She disappears into the darkness. The sound of desperation is music to my ears. Do not worry, it will not take me long for you to consume you. After that, I shall be whole as a Sanctifier. I feel a sense of catharsis as I speak. How simple, how beautiful it is to follow your heart's desire, unbound by those odds. Odds? Right, what are those? So any last words you would like to say? We honor our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. No, that's not right. We must not abuse our power because we are strong, and neither we cannot abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. That's not what I remember. You should grieve, you should curse. For we heed the revelation of God, and we act to carry out His will. Why is it that, at a time like this, you still repeat? Only through order can we grasp the truth. Thus sanctifies us. The blessed must engrave the gods in their hearts, fulfill their will, and seek their glory. I instantly speak the words. Something is suddenly illuminated, and the mudiness in my mind disappears along with the black mark. It was as if I had returned to that afternoon. Upon the Plaza of Odds, countless commemorative tales stands in silence, bearing innumerable inscribed names. Lord Hesperus? Please excuse the interruption. I have a question I wanted to ask you. Sure. I hesitated for a time, asking a question that had troubled me for some quiet time. Lord Hesperus, have you ever heard the voice of bygone Sanctifiers? The Sanctifiers leader laid the ceremonial flowers on the steel feet. What do you mean? It is difficult to explain. I only hear it when I come to the steels. At first, they were just ever-converging wails, but as time passed, the voices became clear. In the image constructed by the words, I saw countless scenes of Sanctifier sacrifices. The inscribed names and visions twist and reconstruct, piecing together the curse that haunted me till now. I don't want to die. Why must I be the one to die? Why should I give my life to protect them? Even in the bright sunny midday, a fierce cold surrounds me, encasing me in a prison of ice as I call up those memories. I clasp my arms tight, attempting to hold onto the warmth left in my body, lest the spirits of the deceased steal it away. I know that this might be as well the whispers of demons, but my system's interceptions have not discovered any abnormalities. So you have come to ask me if I have encountered something similar? Yes. I'm afraid I will have to disappoint you then. See, I shall have Eusphorus inspect your sacred canon to make sure you have not been affected. But I can be sure for the one thing. I look up to find suppressed anger in the leader's eyes. The demonic whispers you have heard are the work of another and not the word of the fallen. How can you be so certain? Because I have witnessed each and every single person's resolve myself. The wind arises out of nowhere, scratching the flowers through the air. Perhaps to you they are only pieces of history recorded upon the sleeves, but to me they are irreplaceable, unforgettable comrades. That is why I am so certain the people I knew would not be so pathetic as to cry and lament over such sacrifice. Do you know why Eusphorus and I trust the stars and fire to be the manifestation of our powers? The sudden question causes me to shake my head. I had never considered the question before Hesperus asked. The stars guide the way ahead, and the flames light the path beneath our feet. We all once feared the darkness, but that is why we do not wish for others to forget the light. If the day of sacrifice ever comes for me, I hope to be like them. Before I can follow up, Hesperus' silhouette has already disappeared. I gaze upwards at the steels once more. The curses and banes has disappeared, returning to countless, gently shining names. Oh, this only adds confusion. There are ambiguous portions of my memory placed where I hear words that are not mine, repeated over and over again, Those endlessly repeating segments makes me confused. What are the Sanctifiers? What am I? At the start of the battle, I thought about how I would fight for my duty, how to protect others. But as the slaughters and sacrifices continues, those delusions of mine faded away. The honor of the Sanctifiers discarded. I was only motivated to continue by the simple instinct to survive. My index finger upon the bowstring's duty edges. No amount of arrows fire seems to decrease the numbers of demons before me. Damn it. The impatience inside me urges me to fill the sky with arrows. Releasing a rain of arrows great enough to purge every demon in the area. Stop! Raven. Such an attack will affect the surrounding lesser Sanctifiers too. Recharge your operants before the attack is fully released. Yes. You think deep down that it doesn't matter even if they are caught in it, don't you? The weak will die in this battle anyway. Huh? A moment of distraction causes me to release the operants at my fingertips, and the attacks fly directly upwards in the air. No! Before I can speak further, Raven takes to the air great speed, attempting to intercept the airborne arrows before they explode. Watch! Oh no, it's because of no. The operant powered explosion raw life rate across the battlefield, possibly interrupting me. When the smoke disappears, the red-haired Sanctifier still stands, albeit with several more wounds than before. One hell of a shot. Are you? I struggled to finish my inquiry. At the very origin of the attack, I knew better than anyone else was the cost of taking that arrow head on would be. Pay it no mind. I just look a bit haggard. I'm still doing fine. I can still fight, see? She attempts to flex her joints to prove that she is indeed fine. The more she continues, the more my guilt grows. Angelus, what do you stand here upon this battlefield? Huh? Unprepared for the sudden question, I stand in place, unsure how to respond. To drive back and defeat our enemies? Incorrect. A sudden painful smack on my forehead takes me out of a moment. By the time I realize that the source of the pain was a headbutt from Raven, she had already advanced the topic. That is not at all why we are here. She reaches out with her hand, patting herself on her chest. We do not come here to fight, but to protect. Do not forget your goals and duty, Angelus. To protect? Is that what has driven you to fight all this time? Yes. One of those things, rather. It appears that you and Ashari still cannot understand what the Sanctifier's duty is. No matter, I shall teach you two in full after the battle ends. I might be your junior, but my understanding seems far deeper than yours. She puts up a fighting stance in the face of their menacing incoming entropic horde. Wait, you won't? Worry not. There are countless agents behind me that I must protect. How can I simply fall here? Do you remember our Sanctifiers' oath? Must not abuse our power because we are strong, and neither we can abandon responsibilities because we are weak. Yes, just so. Let us fight together and protect Angelus. Yes. Raven, as a great Sanctifier, you have fulfilled a Sanctifier's duty well. Your sacrifice will now go wasted. In the near future, you shall be reborn from the sacred canon in a new form. His declaration is complete. He lightly caresses Raven's forehead, clothing the eyes of she who has passed upon the battlefield. We honor our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. We must not abuse our powers because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. We must not abuse our powers because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. For we heed the revelations of gods, and we act to carry out His will. I waited the steel by myself after the ceremony. As I expected, Raymond's name does not appear on the steel. Uninfected by entropy, she will be reborn from their sacred canon, continuing to fight to protect Magracy with me as a Sanctifier. Only that the newer Raven will have the same appearance, but not the same memories. The agreement between us and my apologies will have to be left unspoken. To fight, die, and be reborn. Like an inescapable curse. And you, solely responsible for this. Their discomforting voice makes itself knowing once more. Without that shot you fired, Raven would still have not died. That's not true. What killed Raven was an Entoptic who launched an attack from her blind spot. Can you really deny it though? Have you truly never considered the possibility that she would not have died? Had she not been wounded? Their stinging words make a place for themselves in my heart like a shaken prison. Next prison. My shot only. Yeah, it only accelerated and expedited her death. Oh, perfect. As a great Sanctifier, Raven is an undying being. It is this that allows you to escape the sentence of murder? A true blessing. I tried to escape the voice, but my feet are as heavy as lead. The provoking laugh echoes across the plaza, lingering for a long, long time. So this is Electra. It is funny that Electra is still the evil one, where Alcyon is the reasonable one. Every time Lord Hespero speaks of the deceased Sanctifiers, he always has a look of respect on his face, but I don't understand. I wonder, why on earth am I fighting? What am I fighting for? Idea. Functions no longer suitable for Entropized. Requesting purification. Create a Sanctifier Angelus. Granting request. I put a fist to my chest, praying as Oisphorus did back then. for we heed the revelations of God, and we act to carry out His will. I draw my bow, only this time aiming at a former comrade. The bowstring flies through the air, the arrow in her hand, and the comrades in front of her both faithfully fulfilled their duty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why thank me? I'm killing you, taking away your life. Thank you. The lesser Sanctifiers repeats its final function. Its mechanical arms trembles in the emptiness. Either its final struggles of his life or fear of death. I can only hold tight onto the hand, expressing my guilt. Sorry, if only I was a little stronger. Sorry. Thank you. Thank. The lesser Sanctifiers' neural system are no longer sufficient to sustain a conversation. It can only express its gratitude for its executioner, as its ordinals would have to do it. Amidst throttling cries, the lesser Sanctifier's life comes to an end. The hand in my palm grows cold, transmuting into data and slowly dissipating. I rise to find the sounds of death all around me. Requesting purification. Infected. Voices, imploring purification, echoes endless in the dark, binding me like a rigid cocoon. You want to run away from all of this, don't you? You are not used to all of this. You don't want to continue. The void that appears on the battlefield before rears its head again, mercilessly exploiting the heart's innermost sentiments. I try to refuse the voice, but my aligned stomach beats me to it. Look, even your body is protesting. All you have to do now is send those useless pieces of scrap back to the reverse Babylon Tower post-haste. Right. How about that one attack you did before that did Raven in? Raven, my comrade. After being reborn from the cannon, both our promises and our past are lost to her. She bears no animosity for what happened, leaving guilt to fester in my neural cloud. You already killed a Sanctifier that way already? What's a few more lives on your hand? Come on, get it over with. Operants transform into golden arrows as my fingertips and I slowly take aim at the lesser Sanctifier. Requesting purification. Requesting purification. Yes, just like that. Do it. Everything for our secret sacrifice. The golden arrow fades, restoring the darkness that dominated the battlefield. Why not continue with the attack? Raven, I don't think she would have wanted to see this. I think at least. Huh? What a bore. As if at wit's end, the voice deep down signed in an exaggerated manner. One day, those self-fulfilling emotions will betray you. How will you proceed then? With your beliefs crumbling? The voice gradually fades, leaving me alone upon the battlefield of lamentations and pleas. My friends lie dead in my arms, and it was my fault. She fought to the very end, but all I feel is fear and sorrow. And now we have a different conclusion, right? Why? Why did it turn out like this? The scene before my eyes eradicates that hope remained inside my heart. All that the Sanctifiers sought to protect that has been obliterated. Entropy-infected agents' corpses are strewn across the battlefield in a callous mockery of the Sanctifiers' efforts till now. Just what have I protected? No longer able to support my profound wounded body, I crumble to the ground. I told you, didn't I? No matter how hard you try, you cannot protect everyone. The voice in my heart appears again, working its beguiling magic. There is no need for Sanctifiers to risk their lives for those agents. Your so-called duty and responsibility are merely shackles imposed upon us by our Creator. Open your eyes and take the present. That which you protect is nothing more than data, being that can be cleared and reset at any time just like you. I look in the direction the voice points me towards. As if to validate her words, the sector not far away sends out an alert. The gentle light of their impending reset expands outwards from its center. They really had to design the light, foretelling the end to look like a pristine sunrise. What a terrible sense of humor our creators have. I'm sure you understand now, right? Anger, despair, sorrow. Inexorable emotions stain my neural cloud. I cannot hold back the laughter any longer. I thump the scorched, listless earth beneath me with a fist until all that I can see is painted red by the bleeding red operance. Yes, like that. The ashering voice hides its excitement no longer, on the cusp of uploading the scene that is about to play out. This is what I wanted to see. The very moment when despair takes hold. At this moment, a faint cry of help comes from the darkness. I open my eyes, ensuring that what I hear was no illusion. Help! Help! Help me! My body moves before my mind does. After I return to my senses, I'm already at the source of the helpful cry. Thanks goodness, someone is still here. A tired and young voice comes from beneath the ruins. I move apart the great rock, spotting a hand reaching out towards me in the darkness. Huh? What is it? On the pair of hands are a web of purple veins, the signature sign of interpretation. I knew this type of interpretation well. It specifically targets agents, and its progress is long and painful, as if it took malicious joy in taking away its victims' vitality bit by bit. They may not become monsters at the end of the process, But when the time comes, the host's life is easily slipped away, like the corpses that litter the surroundings. What? Take my hand, quickly! I still choose to answer the prayer. I must. I'm saved! Are you alright? I'm okay, but the others... The little agent lowers its head, tears welling in its eyes. Sorry, if I had been there a little sooner, maybe I... You know that wasn't possible. This the voice says. I knew that I said those things only to deceive myself, along with everyone else. Excuses so that I may escape from my blaming myself. But to ease myself, even for a moment, I sought forgiveness by saying it. This isn't your fault. The Entoptic attacked so quickly, so no one had any time to contact the Sanctifiers. See, your sins have been forgiven as you wished. You should be a bit happier now. Not like she has much time left anyway. Right, thank you for saving me. I want you to have this. Weird, where did it put in? The agent rummages for some time, producing a squashed black object from a tattered pocket. This is chocolate from Burbank. Though it doesn't look good right now, my friend says that it should be a really sweet kind of candy. Should? Yeah, I have never had chocolate. I want to leave this piece for myself, but it's better that you have it as a thank you. I gave the other piece to another Sanctifier lady. She told me it was sweet and tasty, so I thought you would like it too. Well, you were rescued twice. She raises her improvisation-covered hand with a laborious effort. She strenuously peels apart the packaging, placing it in my hand with some reluctance, not forgetting to lick the finger that came into contact with the packaging. Have a taste, pixies! I wish to resist. Unable to deny her willfulness, I can only put the chocolate in my mouth. How is it? The taste is not nearly as sugary as I expected. Perhaps it was once a fine confectionery, but as of now, only the mixed in taste of gore and bitterness are discernible. I barely managed to fake a smile and nod for the expectant face in front of me. It doesn't taste good at all, does it? That's not true. Liar. Pixies, you're not good at lying, and you can see that you are thinking in your face. Yeah, sorry. All I taste is bitterness. I see. That puts my mind at ease. How come? Because you are honest, pixies. You don't hide that what's on your heart with a fake smile, like the other lady. Wait, who is the other lady? The agent does not respond, only looking towards the sector not far away. It really is beautiful. Who is this agent? I follow where she looks. Before I had realized it, the resentful light has already flamed the peeled corpses in the war zone, gradually approaching our position. Look out! Come over! The word I speak only creates an Unending silence. So what if I could save her from the reset? She would have no place to rest in this world, enterprise as she was. But even so, should I simply watch as they are reset and their brief lives come to an end? I knew not the answer. The pair of unreached hands remained suspended in mid-air, unable to move forward or retreat. Pixies, I have already been enterprised, right? I see, of course. The little agent does not say much more, accepting their fate nonchalantly. It's okay, Big Sis, don't worry. Really, I should thank you for chatting with me until the end. This is great. A smile blossomed upon her face. No, there's nothing great about this. I cannot bear it any longer. Grabbing the agent's hand. Go! Run! Run from this fate! You don't deserve this torment. If this continues, you will be reset by the sector and die. Yeah, I know. But if... I don't want everyone else to feel this pain. The little agent leans down, gently caressing the soil beneath her feet. Pixies, why did you become a Sanctifier? Before I can respond, the reset lies visiting us. Looks like time is up. I knew what she means to convey. I want to say something, but none of it comes out. Goodbye, Pixies. The agent takes a half step back, walking into the sunset. That signifies the end. After the gentle light fades, all traces of what which was beautiful or fall had vanished, leaving only the bitterness in my mouth. The taste of the chocolate. If possible, I would have liked it to be sweet. Maximum confusion. I wake up from a dream, finding myself in a strange place as I slowly boot up my idle neural cloud. A strange voice comes from the other side of the table. Had a nightmare? Professor? It's me. The white-robed figure smiles. I can finally contact remotely to your sacred cannon, until neither and the others' work have paid off. Are you alright? I have yet to find the exit. The answer. Is that so? No need to rush. I think you are quite close. Right, this is for you. They pass me a mug of a strongly fragrant liquid. What is this? Hot chocolate. Might help you readjust and calm down a bit. Chocolate? I put the cup to the side, being reminded of an unpleasant memory. If you don't mind, you can talk to me about what's troubling you. Venting it out helps with clearing your thoughts, and I just might be able to help you find the exit. Professor, can I really trust you? Well, just think of it as having a confidant. That's a different expression here. I look down, watching as my reflection in the mug gradually melts with the darkness. Professor, I have always thought of myself as an incomplete sanctifier. My voice strained. I forced myself to face the darkness deep inside. From the very start, I have felt how different I was from the other Sanctifiers. I do not share their concept of ideals and duty, and I cannot bring myself to sacrifice myself for others like they do. When faced with a corpse-strewn battlefield, I feel fear. When my comrades die in the field, I feel sadness. This would be the most normal of reactions for any normal agent, but not for a Sanctifier. I look at my hands, finding them seemingly covered in blood, as if I were in a trance. As a Sanctifier, those emotions are all abnormal. So all I can do is bottle them up deep down and try to throw those emotions away into the carnage I see. But I cannot simply ignore them forever. It is as if the emotions congealed. Professor, protecting justice is far more painful than I imagined to be. It is. The professor sits down at the other side of the table. If you were to discard the justice and principles laid deep without your heart, you would perhaps be able to get by a little easier. Is it really okay for you to say such things as the Oasis professor? I'm simply describing the objective truth. The road ahead is indeed painful. But if the burden I bear can bring happiness to more people, then the decision is once more worth enduring. We can only endure so much. No matter how much we try, how much pain we endure, there will always be happiness that we cannot protect. Yes, indeed. We are no gods. There are limits to both mine and your power. And we are destined to lament our weakness because of the lives we cannot save. So then? They shake their head, speaking with a firm tone. It is exactly for that reason that we should protect what we dear hold. That which drives is not a duty or obligation, Angelus. We do as we do because we don't want anyone else to feel that powerlessness, that helplessness of being weak. Huh. That was the answer the great Sanctifiers has been searching for this long time. Justice is the name too lofty, and duty one too staggering. We stand and continue to fight out of nothing but a simple, direct desire. But the music comes. I can't. Oh my god! Professor saving the day! Even that alone is reason enough to fight. The professor affirms such a version of me. Yeah. I picked up the hot chocolate off the table, taking a sip. So chocolate? Was this sweet after all? The weapon I used to protect rests by my side, and the road I shall take is right ahead. Thank you, Professor. I think I remember that I must do now. I only listened to what you had to tell me. In reality, I had some more lines prepared, though by your looks of it, you won't be needing any of that. I took too long of it to wake up. I promise that I would show you the Sanctifiers' glory. You already have. The scenery nearby silently changes. The arts and beliefs of the Sanctifiers. Their representatives they embodies in times of crisis, all imprinted deep upon my heart without me realizing. And the road I must walk leads to that ending. Go then. Behind me, the professor gives me an unhurried smile. What you must do was determined long ago. Yes, you're right. The greatest Sanctifiers opened her eyes, returning to her very own battlefield. Alright, my dear sister Angelus. You have peered through my memories, and you already know the truth too. So tell me, what are you? You are fundamentally an Entropic. All your abilities stem from being an Entropy Sanctifier. Your sense of purpose is nothing more than an illusion of the past. That's right. I have always been an Entropic. I'm not like the other Sanctifiers. And as a demon, I should not be standing with them. Even so, I refuse to abandon my conviction. Even if I'm still confused about the purpose of the Sanctifiers, even if I'm afraid, even if I'm nothing but an Entropic, I will fight for everything I want to protect. My name is Angelus. I uphold order in the long night, and I shall pierce all Entropics with my arrow. This is the glory of the Sanctifiers. This is a really beautiful chapter here. Also nothing at this point that I name my parts and there's also parts of the main story. Maybe I should call this episodes. And for this episode 3, it is coming to an end. And from the looks of it, there will be 4 episodes and there will be final episodes. Maybe even more. Probably the last episode will be a little bit longer. The conclusion of this story. Angelus holds truths to, even if she's Entropic, even if it doesn't know an Entropic. Let me check out if Angelus is actually as Entropic as I got here or a Sanctifier. I'm pretty sure I saw the Sanctifiers logo, but I may be wrong. Company Sanctifier. So, who knows? So anyway, I will thank you for watching and listening. Wish you good day, night, afternoon, and see you in the probably final part 4 or episode 4 in this matters. Take care.